Hey guys, fall is almost here. That means it won't be long till those big bass will be moving up into the shallows. So I thought today we'd paint a shallow diving crankbait, and we're going to paint this in a bass pattern. Now we're going to keep it real simple, no wraps, nothing like that. Just a nice, simple, easy to paint crankbait. Alright, like always, I put a white base coat on this one. Got that done ahead of time, and put a heat seat on it so I got it good and dry. Now we're going to start out for the belly. We want white, but we're going to go with a pearlized white. The pearlized white, I like that. Just gives a little more shine to it and reflection when it's in the water. So I'm going to come back. We got some loaded up here. We're just going to right down the belly. Just give it a good coating of pearlized white. That's all it takes. We'll dry that, move on. Alright, if we're looking for our bass color, the next obvious thing is to work the green down from the top. And now we're going to do, and haven't done this before, we're going to move on to the Walmart paints. And I told you these are a little thicker, caused little problems. I've never really used them that much that I remember on the painting, so I thought this would be a good opportunity here. And show you what I mean. I've got, this is a light color, this is a palm leaf green. And as you can see, we put this out. It's going to be very thick. So we're going to need to thin this down, and yeah, I just thin it with some water. We'll mix her up good. And how thick it is, or how thin you want it, I mean, they say like skim milk. I'm trying to figure out what the difference is between skim milk and regular milk, but alright. Load a little in the gun. We'll just come right down the back. We want to bleed down or taper down a little on the sides to get into that pearl white that we had. But if we shoot from the top, then it kind of tapers down on the side a little. Well, that's pretty light colored, but hang with me. Alright, there we go. Kind of tapered down here on the sides, just a little bit. There we go. That leaves our nice white belly, a little bit thicker on top, tapered on the side. Now we're going to go ahead and dry that, and then move on. We've got our nice light green. Now we need to darken things up a little. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come back with, again, Walmart, English Ivy green is the color. This one's about empty. I had to thin this one down a bit with some water, but we're just going to take the same cup here, and let's see if we can get some out of here. Had to add some water to this thing because it's about done. Boy, there's a big old glob of it, huh? We'll have to add some more water to that. Just mix it up. And try to mix her good so you don't get... Unfortunately, I'm down at the bottom of that bottle. That doesn't help matters any, but we'll get by here with it. Time to go to Walmart, huh? Alright, that's a little bit thinner. I want that just a tad thinner, yeah. There are different thinners you can use, you can buy, as you can see. For the Walmart stuff, I'm just using water. There's a big old chunk. We'll get that off the side. That'll plug up a gun in a hurry. Alright, we're just going to put a few drops of that in. There we go. Now we're going to come right back over the top again. Like I said, just do with the Walmart stuff, you're going to get some plugs once in a while. Alright, now we've got the darker green there. We can still see a little bit of that lighter green here. where it's blending down. Got a little bit darker. Now we're going to go just a little darker yet. Dry that, move on. Alright, so here's what we're going to do now. I got my leftover from my last paint in here. I'm going to take that and pour it in the trash can. And still leaving that, I'm now going to move on to the Opaque Black by Createx. Put about 3 drops in there. That'll do. Well, let's see if we can mix this up a little bit. Alright, I think I got that thin enough. Load a few drops. Oops, didn't need nearly that much. Alright, now to get a little darker again, we're going to right down the middle of the back. So we're not going to get very far away from the back itself. And now, while I'm pushing down and giving air, I'm not coming back as far. When you come back is when you load the paint. So I'm down and barely coming back until I get just a little paint out of it. Carry a little down the sides. Now we're going to come up here around the eye socket. Wait a minute. Before we do that, we're going to turn back the air pressure. I've been running this at about 40. Going to get it down to about 15 now. Put that pressure and just ease back on the... There we go. You want to just give it the air, but then ease back slowly here to give it just a little bit of paint. Hang on. Yeah, the spot come out. We want to take care of that. Show you that right away. Get a couple spots right there. We'll just take a Q-tip. It'll leave a slight, but we're going to be coming back, so it should cover that up. And there we go. Alright. So I've got my nice pearlized, that really light colored green, just a little bit more, and then we finally darken up on the very back. Now, we need a line on the side if this is going to be a bass, so let me clean out the gun real quick, and we'll move on to that step next. Alright, now we're ready to put in our marking on the side for the lateral line. Hopefully I'll be able to do this where you'll be able to see this. I have dried it so I can lay it down here. And what I've done is I picked up a little bit of the black opaque Createx, put a little on a piece of plastic here, and I've got just a piece of broken off sponge. So you can see I've kind of touched on here a little bit, so we'll see how this, now we're going to hold this, or how I want to hold it. I'm going to touch into the paint just slightly, but then come back to the towel and wipe most of it off. And from that, then we're just going to lightly touch Don't get carried away. You can always add more if you want. Alright, we've got that side. Let me dry this. I'll move on to the other side. Now, on this side, there's 3 splits on the gill plate here. I came right off the end of that, so that'll tell me where I want to go the next time to start off. Again, I'll put a little paint on the sponge, wipe the majority of it off, and now we'll come right over here. Just run our straight line. There we go. I don't want to get too much on there. Alright, we'll dry that. Alright, there we'll have, let's see if we can get that white behind us so it shows up a little better. Got the nice, you can see how white pearlized really shines compared to the flat paint on top. Now once we put a clear top coat, that of course all of it's going to look a lot better. But let's put a set of eyes in this, and then it'll be time to put a top coat on. Thought for eyes on this, we'd go with the red. I kind of like the red eyes, so I thought I'd use that in here. And as always, I use a little tacky glue. Even though these have sticky on the back, I like to use a little glue with them. So I'll just use a toothpick and put just a dab of glue each eye socket. And then use another toothpick, set that eye right into place. Alright, there we go. We'll let this dry for a little while, and then we'll put the top coat on. Well, let's put on the top coat. And for this, I use Bob Smith Industries 2-part slow cure epoxy glue. This is the 30-minute slow cure. You need that much time to get this on the lure properly and get it sealed up. Now, a lot of people talk about they'll weigh this by measuring by weight, by volume. They have all kinds of ways to measure this to ensure you get the exact same amount of both. I don't do that. So here's the way I do it. Squirt in some of this, and I squirt in some of that. And that's my measuring system. Now we're going to stir this up real well. Again, I just use like a popsicle stick. You can buy those at your craft stores. Got a lot of uses for those. I mix my paint with them too that way. But the main thing is really get it mixed good. If you don't have it mixed good, you will have problems down the line. Alright, we're going to call that one good. And all we're going to use is just a cheap, I don't know, 30 brushes for $1 or something like that. Walmart, and just get a good even coat. Now, because it takes a 30-minute dry, what's going to happen is you hang this up, it will run down the lures. Now, some people use turners to turn the lure so it will dry evenly or whatever. I hang mine up and everything will run to the back end, to that back spot back there. I usually come back when it's not quite dry, maybe after about 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and take a toothpick and work on that hole to get some of the stuff out of it. And that seems to work pretty effectively. I get some out. Then I don't have such a big giant clump there later when it's all dried. Then after that, you'll just, once it's all dried and you're ready to put hooks, you'll just have to do a little more cleanup on it. And there we go. There is our top coat. Do I see that? Yeah, there we go. And we'll hang this up to dry. And I usually like to leave them overnight. And then the next morning take the stuff off and put my hooks on. Well, there we have it, guys. A shallow diving square bill in a bass pattern should be perfect for this fall. As you can see, it's a nice, easy lure to paint. So thanks for sticking with me. Subscribe to our channel if you would. I hope to see you again real soon.